So, this Arduino will sound a buzzer when I unplug this electric fence right here.
So what's that buzzer telling us?
It's telling us that we are not getting a pulse.
And how are you measuring that?
Well, you see here, I have a counter. The counter is continuously counting up by 1. Now, if it reads a pulse, it will turn the counter back to 0. And if the counter gets higher than a certain threshold, it will sound the buzzer. Now, if I plug it back in, for example, it will reset the counter back to 0 and continue resetting as it continuously gets pulses.
Now, how are you actually measuring those pulses?
So, we have a fancy little coil right here, which basically reads voltage without even having to touch the wire in the first place. Very handy.
So it's reading inductively instead of contact?
We think so. We're not that sure actually how it reads it, but it sure does work.
Awesome. And what else is there next in the Arduino?
Well, this right here is the buzzer, but other than that, you see this right here? This is a silicon diode. It's what allows the signal to be large enough to read. So what it does is that this signal originally would come out as a high frequency pulse, going both in positive and negative voltage. However, since we have the silicon diode there, that only allows the voltage to go one way, which allows us to read it as a much smoother pulse, and it's much easier to read it from Arduino.
Cool.